Welcome to Project Car Media. Now you just saw the reveal of my next budget restore. It's a 2002 RSX Type-S with 300,000 miles on it, and it has had quite the life, as you saw from all of the scratches and the bumper and the headlights. But it is a very cool car, has an awesome history. Now let's do a quick walk around of the car. I'll show you everything that's wrong with it, and then I'll let you know what I plan to do with it, and we'll go from there. You might be thinking, why would you buy a 300,000 mile Acura RSX Type-S? To be honest with you, I was actually looking to get a RSX Type-S as my next race car, but then I ended up buying my Beamer back from my neighbor, and I didn't actually get a chance to, buy one of these cars for racing. So when I saw this at the auction, it kind of tugged on the heartstrings a little bit, and I just was curious. So I ran a Carfax on it, and I was pleasantly surprised to know that this car was a one owner. So for the last 20 years, one guy has been driving this car back and forth to work. So that was the first thing that I thought was cool, because typically when someone keeps the car for 20 years, they like to take care of it. So then as I was going through the Carfax, I couldn't believe at the maintenance that I was seeing. Every 2 years for about 10 years, this guy went to the local Honda dealer and had every single fluid changed. He had the transmission fluid, the power steering fluid, the oil, the brake fluid, the clutch fluid, the coolant, everything flushed. This guy really kept up on the maintenance on the engine and transmission on this car. And so when I saw that, I was very, very intrigued. I thought, okay, this looks really rough, but I bet it runs fantastic. So I ended up buying this thing sight unseen, took a chance on it, and luckily it ended up turning out pretty good. The car runs fantastic. It actually drives really nice. They must have replaced the clutch at some point too. The caveat to the engine running good and everything is that the body is in really rough shape. The bumper needs to get replaced, absolutely. The headlights need to get replaced. The wheels, I don't even know if they're cleanable, so they're gonna get replaced. Multiple scratches on the door here from where they had a dog. The interior is so dirty with dog hair, and it has a kind of a smell in here because there's some water sitting in the spare tire area. If you look right down here, I believe there was a mouse in here at some point, and the cabin air filter. So the inside needs to be detailed really, really bad. But everything works. The windows work, the gauges work, AC works. There's no grinds in any of the gears, the transmission, sunroof works. I mean, everything works. So it just needs to be refreshed. And that's the kind of car that I look for when I'm looking at the auction. This has potential to be a really cool car, just like the Nissan was. At the end, after all the headache, at the end, the Nissan ended up being a really cool car. So that's what I'm hoping for this car. Now, as far as aftermarket goes, as you remember with the Nissan, I didn't really get a chance to do anything aftermarket because of all the maintenance I had to do. Luckily, there's not a whole lot of maintenance to do under the hood on this thing. So one of my plans, probably the only aftermarket thing I plan on doing is some coilovers. I'd really like to get this thing lowered. I think it would look absolutely amazing with a new bumper, new headlights, and being lowered on some stock Acura wheels. I think would be really cool. But other than that, I'm not touching. I'm not tinting the windows. I'm not putting exhaust. Oh, I did say I was going to do an intake, and that's pretty much it. But we'll see where that puts us in the budget. I have an idea of how much I want to spend total on this car, but I don't want to get upside down in the car like I ended up with the Nissan. It is the next day, and I couldn't help myself yesterday. I actually had to give the car a wash, but I don't know if you guys can see, it didn't really do anything for the car. Today, we're going to focus on cleaning the interior. Now, the inside has been bugging me ever since I bought the car. I've been wanting to clean it, but I was waiting to film this video. Let me show you a little bit of what it looks like before, and then I'll show you what it looks like after. Now, I did show you guys the interior a little bit earlier, but I have a little bit of light here, and you can just see just there's just like dirt just like caked onto everything. And so I'm gonna really try to get this cleaned up, even like these door sills, try to get them all wiped up. I'm gonna start with just a couple wet rags just to get everything wiped down, get all the heavy dirt off of it. And then I'm gonna come back with, you know, a cleaning wipe or something and clean everything else. As far as the floors go, I'm gonna take these mats out, clean them up, vacuum really good. I'm gonna take the cabin air filters out for now until I get new ones, and just really try to clean everything in here, clean the window. So this is kind of what it looks like before. As you can see, it's very dirty, and I'm gonna get to it. All right, so I'm in the middle of cleaning. I got like the dash wiped down and stuff, and I thought, okay, let's go ahead and tackle the cabin air filters, because this was in the glove box. So I knew that possibly whatever was in here was in the cabin air filter, and so I put some gloves on because I see a little bit of something right there. So let's go ahead and take these cabin air filters out and just see what we're working with here. I don't know if these have ever been replaced. Oh my God, look at that. Woo, that is disgusting. You can see right there, there's some, looks to be like mouse droppings or something. So I'm gonna set that outside. And oh my gosh, yeah, look at that. There's just a bunch of like, I don't know, like a mouse's home or something. Yeah, I might have to get a vacuum cleaner in there to get all that out before I put in the new ones. But here's the second one that goes right next to it. Oh man, this is bad. Yeah, look at all this. No wonder the inside of the car smelled. And yeah, there you go. There's definitely a mouse or something living in here. Not really sure where the cabin air filter comes out at or what, but I'm gonna have to vacuum all of this out and then put some new ones in. Pretty gross. And I'm over here on the driver's side just wiping things down, and you won't believe what I found. Check this out. The plastic on this door sill has never been taken off before, and oh man, 20 years this piece of plastic has been sitting on here. Oh man, that is so satisfying. Yeah, it's pretty much brand new. That's really cool. I'll give you guys a little bit of update on the rest of the car. The dash is looking much better. I got a lot of the heavy dirt just wiped off with the on the steering wheel, the dash, the middle console area. I still need to take out the seats so I can vacuum and then get the side of the middle console area, and I still need to vacuum out the shift boot area. It's really gross. There's like mouse poop in the cup holders right here. As you saw earlier, like there was a whole house in the cabin air filter area. So this thing definitely sat for, I'm guessing, about a year before they decided to donate it. So door panel's looking pretty good. Everything is looking much better than it was. Here's another little update. I moved to the back of the car, and this is where there was a bunch of water that had come in from the taillights down into the wheel well. So I got that all vacuumed out, got it all dried out. But you won't believe what I found in the bottom of the spare tire well. Check this out right here. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but these are euro. So there's like 1 cent, 5 cent, 10 cent, 20 cent euros from Europe. They were sitting at the bottom of the spare tire well. And this is a Canadian penny. So he definitely did some traveling, that's for sure. Another cool thing about these Type-S's is that they came with like a Bose subwoofer that goes inside the spare tire. Yeah, there's definitely still some cleaning to do along here. I'm gonna be vacuum all this out and get all this too, and try to just clean it up back here and then put this all back together. Definitely some progress. So you can see back here, there's still a lot of dirt and stuff on the rear. So I'm definitely gonna have to take the seats out and get to the back, but slowly but surely. So my new cabin air filters came in. I'm really excited to put these in, get the air going in the car. And I also got some Clorox disinfectant wipe. These basically will disinfect any piece that had, you know, mouse droppings on it or anything like that. So like this is the cover for the cabin air filter area, and I just wiped it down with the disinfectant wipe just to clean that up. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the glove box off. I'm gonna wipe the inside of it with a Clorox wipe and then put the new cabin air filters in, and then we'll start up the car and get some air moving through those new filters. All right, so I got the new cabin air filters in and the cover back on, and then I wiped down the whole glove box with a disinfectant wipe just to clean everything up there. And I'm not gonna put the stoppers back on just yet because I do want to take this out, and I'm pretty sure this wire that runs through the glove box is a part of that, as well as this wire here. Now that we have the cabin air filters in, let's go ahead and turn on the car and get some air moving through and see how it smells. I got the car on and the air on, and it actually doesn't smell bad. I have it blowing right on me on a couple of these, on this vent here and this vent here, and it actually smells pretty good. That's what that carbon part of the cabin air filter is supposed to neutralize any odors, and it definitely does. It actually smells pretty normal in here, which is great. That is a huge improvement over how it smelled before when you turned on the air. Well, I got the passenger seat out, and as you can see, it's definitely dirty, but it could be worse, you know. I definitely, underneath here, it's like perfect. So just gonna require a lot of vacuuming and getting this dog hair up and cleaning the side of the middle console. That's one of my goals too. And I think that's actually the remote for the little Parrot thing up here. Either way, pretty gross. Okay, now look at this. This is just after vacuuming and wiping down the side of the middle console, and oh my gosh, it's looking like a normal used car again. I bought this little pet hair remover thing off Amazon. This thing is a lifesaver. I was able to scrape up all of the hair and then vacuum it up, and it not only grabbed hair, it grabbed, you know, dirt and stuff like that. So overall, like, this is turning out really, really well. And the dash is even clean now, and you know, it's not perfect, but it is so much better than it was. Okay, now onto the back. You can see it's just as dirty. There's just as much dog hair and dirt and everything. I got everything under the mat clean, so really it's just this right here that I need to clean up, and then I can flip the seats up and clean the seats. So yeah, this is what it looks like before, and I'll show you guys what it looks like after. So I got one side done, and as you can see, it looks so much better. I got the side back here all cleaned up. I even cleaned the window. You wouldn't believe how much dirt came off of the window alone. So yeah, everything's turning out really nice. It just needs a good cleaning, you know. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to show you guys was the passenger seat, and as you can see out in the light, it's in pretty good condition. There's no tears, there's no rips, there's a little bit of wear right here, but overall it's in really good condition. So I'm just gonna throw some leather conditioner on it, clean it up a little bit, and it'll be ready to throw back in. I wanted to take a look at the driver's seat, and it's definitely torn. You can see right here, and he put this whole cover on the back, and you can see why when you flip this back, it's all torn here. But I don't really like these covers because they hold, you can see, like, they hold dust and dirt and stuff. So I'm going to take it off, see how bad the seat is. I really don't want to throw this one back in. I'm looking actively for a used one that's in good condition, but you know, in the meantime we might have to do that. So let's take this cover off and see how bad it is. It's really bad right here, but you know, it doesn't look that bad when you have this tear too. Like, as long as the rest of the seat is cleaned up, it's at least gonna like kind of match what the passenger one looks like too. Let's clean up this seat, and then I'm gonna throw in the passenger seat and start reassembling the interior. Just when you thought the passenger side was bad, I mean, look at this. I mean, under the floor mats, it's like perfect, but oh, just, I swear he hasn't cleaned this in the 20 years that he owned it. It's absolutely disgusting. But check this out. I think I found a spare key, and looks like maybe he was, you know, drinking and driving. Some more change, and just a lot of pet hair. Look at all this hair. You know, luckily my little hair remover thing will get all of this, and it'll look so much better. Look at the middle console. Like, he just like spilled stuff and lived down a dirt road or something. It's just really, really gross. So I'm gonna get to cleaning this, but here is the before and here is the after. Now, I wasn't able to get it as nice as the passenger side, but It is looking so much better. The middle console is clean. The shift boot is clean. Everything is as clean as it's going to be. There are some stains that I wasn't able to get, just by vacuuming and using that pet hair tool, but that's okay. The main thing is I just wanted everything to be clean. So yeah, it's looking really, really good. Pretty much all I have to do now is just this half of the back seat here. And then we're going to move on to trying to remove this Parrot Bluetooth thing. And the interior after that, we pretty much done. The whole interior is clean. I wanted to show you the back seats before I put in the front seats. Everything is looking so good, 100 times better than what it did look like. The dash is super clean, the shift boot, everything. Oh, looks so good. So now I'm going to put the seats in and we're going to mess with the Parrot Bluetooth thing, see if we can get that pulled out. All right, the interior is all done. It's all clean. Got the floor mats back in. I did a little black duct tape job on the seat because I think that looks a little bit better than having the cover on it. But everything is clean and it looks like a normal car again. Of course, it's not perfect. There's still dirt and stuff like that in certain places, but overall, it looks so much better and it doesn't smell, which is super nice. I moved on to getting this Parrot thing gone, the mount and the actual Parrot thing itself, and there's quite some stuff going on back here. Now in here there is also like a power cable that is used for like a really old iPhone. It has that old like 30-pin connector, and then it feeds up through here, and that actually ends up, you can't really see it, but it ends up in a bundle of wire right there, and then ends up right here on the back of the stereo. So I'm not really sure exactly what that is or how that works, but I'm gonna try to at least get some of that cleaned up and get this mount off for the Parrot, and then get the Parrot itself, the whole unit, like taken out of here because it's like 15 years old. I found the paperwork and I really just don't want it in here. So I was able to get the mounting bracket off for the Parrot thing, and I was able to get the cable fished through and disconnected for that old Apple 30-pin connector. I got that out of there too. Now, one thing I wasn't able to get out is this microphone right here, and I think it's fished all the way through the door and the A-pillar and everything like that. So what I did was, back behind here, I just coiled up the wiring and tucked it in right over here, and unplugged it from the Parrot thing. For now, we're done on the inside. This is a really old deck. I might end up replacing this, but we will see. It works just fine though. So that completes the interior. I am super happy with it. Everything turned out really well, cleaned up really nice, and yeah, and now it feels like a normal 20-year-old car and not something that sat around for a really long time. I have one more thing to do to the interior, and that is taking care of this shift knob. As you can see, it's old and the paint or whatever is coming off. And I remembered from the BMW, I bought a weighted Mishimoto shift knob, and I ended up taking it off because the throw in that car was so long, and I wondered if it would fit in here. So we do have it right here. This is a really nice weighted Mishimoto shift knob, and one of the adapters that came with the shift knob fits these cars. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this old decrepit thing off. We'll put on the Mishimoto shift knob, then the interior will finally be done. Out with the old and in with the new. Just want to make it just tight enough to where the M is facing me, which will be about right there. And this obviously doesn't click back up, but dude, that looks really good. That looks really good actually, and I like the throw on it. It's not too long, and the weighted shift knob kind of helps with the shifts and stuff. This is pretty cool. I like this a lot. All right, so now the interior is finally finished. There you have it. The interior is all clean, and I topped it off with that little Mishimoto weighted shift knob that I had laying around. And I gotta say, I am so happy that the interior turned out like that. It turned out much better than I thought. It smells good, everything is clean. I basically sanitized anything that looked like a mouse drop, had a mouse dropping on it. So the cup holders, the glove box, and even there's like a middle console area between the two rear seats, and I did that too. And now everything smells great, looks great, and besides the driver's side seat that I had to do that tape job on, everything else is looking really good. So I am still actively looking for a driver's seat, but I can live with this for now. It's not a big deal. So stick around for next week's video because we're going to be doing even more work on the RSX, and we're going to be moving to the exterior and the engine. And we have a lot to do there. I got a lot of parts right in front of me here to put on, including some headlights. I've got spark plugs, oil filter, tail light gaskets, LED bulbs, and a bunch of other stuff to go on the car just to, you know, make it look a little bit better, run a little bit better. I also picked up some used wheels and tires for a very good price, and they're not perfect, but they're a huge improvement over what is on the car now. So I'll show you guys those in the next couple of videos as well. So stay tuned for all of that because we are continuing the transformation of this RSX Type-S back into something that, you know, somebody can drive every day. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, and we'll see you guys in the next video.